Well, I've succumbed. I purchased a 15-metre hose weeper, £8.95 for my In Excess garden centre, and I'm laying it out now, and I'm going to trial it over our holiday period. We're away for a few days, so my mother-in-law's looking after the garden, and I will give you my absolute honest opinion on soaker hoses, or hose weepers as this is called. Honestly, if this is good and this works, 15 metres for £8.95, I'm going to be buying a shit ton of these and putting them all over the garden, because I cannot cope with another year like this. I am so stressed out. I don't know how you guys are feeling about your garden. The long perennial border is as bare as I've ever seen it. 5 years I produced this 5 years ago, dug it out. There was nothing here then, and the last 4 years it's been amazing, a riot of colour. This year, look at it. To add to the dryness, I've got rats or moles tunnelling under this mound of earth, so that all the water that I am putting on is going down their tunnels. You can just see the shrubbery ahead of you. I have, with my son, weeded out everything that was in there that we didn't want. I've dug as many bulbs as I can out, and I put the weed suppressant membrane down, and I'm covering it with mushroom compost at the moment. It looks so sterile, but I have to do something to conquer this ground elder, because if I bring you over here, it is rife in my borders. This is a bit I haven't done yet. I'm going to let these daisies flower, then dig them out, try and clean the roots as much as possible, and they will go to a part of the garden where I can monitor the ground elder situation. Then this will be cleared out, and this is my shrubbery. It was always going to be the shrubbery, but I got a bit carried away and I put some geraniums in here and some dahlias in here, the sedum at the back, and then a few perennials, but it never ever took off. It was always just full of weeds. So now I'm paring it down, and I'm just going to use it for shrub plants, and then we're going to enter the mix a blue geranium, the one that is nice clump forming, shallow roots, that I can keep on top of, not the one that I've dug out of here. Let me show you what I've dug out. There you go. Isn't that unbelievable? All of that in a small area. Horrendous. And if I'm honest, we didn't get all the roots out, so we've doubled up on the landscape fabric. The landscape fabric was £8.95 for 15 metres from B&Q. The pegs I've got from In Excess, because they're £1 for 10, so it makes it a bit cheaper and brings the price down. I've still got a nesting pigeon in my apple tree, sat tight on her eggs. This little rose has flowered its little head off. Excuse the faded blooms, but I have been doing other things in the garden. And this is one of the ones I'm training up, one of my rusty old obelisks. This brings me joy. There are figs on the fig tree for the first time in, I think it's 4 years. So I just got to keep this one watered, like everything else in the garden. It's a much cooler day today, but it's very humid. We have really suffered. There's been no rain here at all. And I'm sure some of you have been experiencing too much rain. I get that in my comments. I would say we're never happy, but I am happy when the weather does what I want it to do and not causing me constant heartache with losing my plants. This rose is a stunner, isn't it? Unfortunately, I do not know what this rose is. I believe it's a B&Q rose. And I think it's something like anniversary rose. The flowers are shattering quite quickly, but it is a beauty, and I really should get round to deadheading it. My second Olivia rose, Austin, got a bit of black spot coming through, which I will get rid of. The rose form has been tiny from this, and that's just due to the weather. This border has had its edges neatened up, and it's had some mushroom compost applied on top and then given a really good water. Hopefully that will hold some of the moisture in. And then I've just gone around the bench and I just need to sweep that up because I've left it messy. I've started going through the rose garden and just there's so much dead stuff in here that I've kind of pulled it out, and I think I'm going to give up on this year. I think we will reset and revisit this bit of the garden in this autumn when it's not so hot and when I'm not getting so brokenhearted by the lack of perennial plants that have survived. And just in the comments, guys, if you need a hug, a virtual hug, or you want to tell the rest of the people on this channel what's been going on in your garden, use it, because I tell you what, only gardeners know what gardeners feel when all their life's work is fried by the sun. I'm not laughing, I'm ironically laughing that last year I was sat here or stood here moaning about the floods because I was flooded. I mean, look at this. It's so dry that everything is just blowing, my paths. But there is some joy here. I mean, this is Silas Mariner. Now, I wouldn't normally let a stem get like this, but this year, this year, what's a lady to do? What's a lady to do? Well, this one here is, I believe, Emily Bronte, and again, look at the small form of the roses where there has just been, oh my god, David Austin roses smell gorgeous. There has just been no water. Olivia Rose Austin, this is slightly bigger flowers, but not that much bigger. Desdemona, creamy beautifulness. Susan William Ellis, looking a bit like she's suffering down there. I think they just need lots and lots of water. And this is where I'm thinking of setting up the soaker hoses and just doing a whole 15 metres per bed. But what can you see in the middle that's doing really, really well? The little globe thistles, waiting for those to go blue. My husband purchased this plant about 3 years ago, and this is the best it's ever been. I can never pronounce it anyway. Oh, I think that's a vista I've never used before. You get a good idea then of the width of the garden. So you can see the beehive in the corner here. And then we go to behind this here. We've got the pathway here that goes up to the paddock that we've currently got full of wood. And the stable block, into the barn, into the paddock. I'm currently stood under the plum and the Bramley apple tree. This area, this corner here, is going to have some landscape fabric on it because I'm fed up with the ground elder here. And I still need to do something with this filter box, and I think just wooden box it in would be great. Since we've caged the pond, we've not lost any more fish, so we've added one more in to the pond because it's too hot. My father-in-law has a huge lake-like pond full of carp and goldfish, and we're going to go and get some from there probably late September when it's cooler, and restock the pond because we're now happy that the weasel can't get into the pond. The fish that was attacked and was mauled is fine. I think, let me show you her. She had significant fin damage, but luckily, with some love and care, she survived that. Greenhouse update. Pleased in here. I can control the weather in here. It's lovely and warm, and then I can water. I I film these videos way in advance. So currently it is July the 15th, but you're probably going to see this somewhere in August. So this is before my holiday. So look at these tomatoes coming through, and I've stripped some of the lower leaves off to let the light go in, but I'm really pleased. The form of them is looking good. I'm feeding them. Oh, I've just got to rescue a cabbage white butterfly that is about to get eaten by a spider. So let me just rescue her. Dutifully rescued. The lemon tree is in flower again. Alas, no lemons this year. The lime tree, I have got a plethora of limes on here, so hopefully we'll get limes. And it's currently 22 degrees in, and it's very shady, so that's cool. Marvellous melon update. They are putting on weight greedily, so I have to keep up the water with those, otherwise we won't have any melons on those, but pleased with those. Last year's geraniums haven't enjoyed the hot weather, which I thought they would have been absolutely at home in it, but no, they're struggling a little bit. Right, pot update. I didn't put any of your usual hanging basket pot plants into these planters. What I've got in here is a mixture of cottage garden perennials that I am going to then use to fill this border once. That's an unusual noise. Once we've raised this wall level, so we are getting a load of bricks and we are going to raise this wall level so that this earth isn't constantly coming forward and showing the roots of my beautiful plants, which are struggling because of it. Yeah, so we've got scabious in this one. We've got the goras in these two. So yeah, lots of cottage garden perennials ready to go into this border. We're about to go on a hose pipe ban, and as the well has now given up its water because it hasn't rained for so long, I'm just filling up the water butts that I have spare so that I've got water for the front garden. Hanging baskets haven't really survived the weather, so one, they keep blowing down, two, they are just not holding on to. So this one is really heavy and now I feel like it's been overwatered. The wall isn't as bright and blousy as it was last year. Here's that one that's blown down, absolutely crushed itself. The geraniums are doing really well out the front. These are the best of the hanging baskets that I have left, that I put at the front door, but again, they're not looking as good as they did last year, and that's with weekly feeds. Yeah, lots of plants struggling in my containers here. Lots doing all right, but again, it's constant care. And it's, again, an area that I've got to find a solution to getting colour here, but it not being so needy. So it might be that I'll just dig a shallow semicircle of a bed, and we just have to avoid it with the cars. Right, my name's Heidi. This has been the Tudor Cottage Diaries. Please click like, subscribe, and leave me some comments below, and hit that very important notification bell as we finish with July. I will see you after my summer holidays.